The old Volkswagen sputtered to a stop beneath the rusted skeleton of the Colchester overpass, steam hissing from under its crumpled hood like a dying animal's final breath. Sarah cursed under her breath as she fumbled for her phone, its screen casting an eerie blue glow across her face in the Virginia darkness. No signal, of course. She glanced at her boyfriend, Marcus, who was already stepping out into the October night air. Maybe we should just wait for someone to drive by. On this road, at midnight, Marcus laughed, but there was no humor in it. Come on, I saw lights through the trees. Probably a house. We can call for help. Sarah hesitated. Something about the overpass felt wrong. The way the concrete pillars loomed like ancient monoliths. How the wind seemed to whisper secrets through the rusted girders above. Local kids had spray-painted warnings across the weathered walls. Bunnyman Bridge and Stay Away in blood-red letters that seemed to pulse in her peripheral vision. Sarah, it's just old folklore, Marcus said, reading her expression. Some guy in a bunny costume from the 70s. Probably died years ago. But Sarah remembered the stories her grandmother had told her. Stories about a man in a tattered white bunny suit who haunted this stretch of road, hanging the bodies of his victims from the overpass like grotesque Christmas ornaments. A sound drifted through the darkness, metal scraping against concrete, rhythmic and deliberate. Both of them froze. What was that? Sarah whispered. Marcus grabbed her hand. Probably just the wind. Come on. They made their way toward the flickering lights, their footsteps unnaturally loud on the cracked asphalt. The scraping sound came again, closer now, accompanied by something that might have been humming. A children's nursery rhyme, distorted and off-key. Here comes Peter Cottontail, hopping down the bunny trail. Marcus, Sarah's voice was barely audible. I think we should go back. But when they turned around, a figure stood silhouetted against their broken-down car, tall and unnaturally thin, wearing what looked like a dingy white costume. In the moonlight, they could make out the shape of long, drooping ears and the dark hollows where eyes should be. The humming stopped. Well, well, the figure called out, its voice a rusty growl that seemed to come from everywhere at once. What have we here? Little rabbits lost in the woods. Marcus stepped protectively in front of Sarah. Look, we don't want any trouble. Our car broke down. We just need. The thing in the bunny suit tilted its head with an audible crack of vertebrae. Oh, I know exactly what you need. It raised its right arm, and moonlight glinted off the curved blade of a woodsman's axe. You need to join my collection. Sarah grabbed Marcus's arm and ran. Behind them, that horrible humming resumed, punctuated by the wet slap of footsteps and the whisper of the axe cutting through air. They crashed through underbrush, branches tearing at their clothes and skin. The lights they'd seen earlier, proving to be nothing more than reflectors on an abandoned road sign. The bridge, Marcus gasped. If we can get under it. No, Sarah yanked him away from the overpass. That's where he wants us. Above them, something creaked in the wind. Sarah looked up and immediately wished she hadn't. Hanging from the concrete beams were shapes, bundles wrapped in dirty cloth that might once have been white costumes. The latest editions still dripped. A giggle echoed from the darkness behind them, high and childlike, despite coming from that adult throat. Run, little rabbits, run. But you can't hide from the Bunnyman forever. They veered toward the road, hoping desperately that a car might come by, that someone might save them. But the asphalt stretched empty in both directions, disappearing into pools of impenetrable shadow. The humming grew louder, closer. Marcus stumbled, his ankle twisting on loose gravel. Sarah hauled him upright, but precious seconds had been lost. When she looked back, the Bunnyman was there, close enough now that she could see the horror beneath his costume. The white suit was stained with decades of rust-brown blood. The mask had once been cheerful, designed to delight children, but years of violence had transformed it into something obscene. One plastic eye hung loose from its socket, swinging like a pendulum with each step. But it was the smile that would haunt her final moments, carved into the plastic with a knife, widened into a rictus grin that split the face from ear to ear. "Catch me if you can," the thing whispered, raising its axe. Sarah closed her eyes and thought of her grandmother's stories, of all the warnings she should have heeded. In the distance, she could swear she heard the sound of children singing. Here comes Peter Cottontail, hopping down the bunny trail. The last thing she saw was that terrible, twisted smile, gleaming white in the darkness beneath the bridge. 3 days later, authorities found the abandoned Volkswagen beneath the Colchester overpass. Despite an extensive search, no trace of the vehicle's occupants was ever discovered. Local residents reported hearing humming late at night, and several claimed to have seen new shapes hanging from the bridge's concrete beams. But when police investigators examined the overpass the following morning, they found nothing but empty rope and the lingering scent of something that might have been cotton candy or decay. The Bunnyman's collection, it seemed, had grown once again.